Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
So this is a very basic but very essential and at the end of this session, I mean, let us make sure that we know some basics. Uh, so, I mean, this is a monthly chart, and now we will see how easily on a monthly chart we can do this, and then we will go to, I mean, we can go to smaller time intervals also. But for the beginners, absolute beginners, we should always start with a monthly chart. And now let us see some bullish patterns, because if suppose from a low level to high level, if a stock is moving, then it will make some bullish patterns. Suppose let us learn the head and shoulders and inverse head and shoulder pattern. So if you are aware, it will look like something like this. So there will be a left shoulder, there will be a head, and there will be a right shoulder. So at the bottom of this chart, you can see something like this. This is a left shoulder like this. Then the right shoulder, the head went below this point like here, and at the bottom now you can see the right shoulder. Uh, so how to trade this pattern? Now if now you I should be trained to see this pattern. Anytime you see this, then this is a bullish pattern. Let us start with basics first, that this pattern is bullish. So when you see this pattern, see, this is a monthly chart, and you can see the chart from 2011, and it gave the breakout in 2016. So on a monthly chart, see, this is 5 to 6 years of work. After this you got the entry. So if you see something like this, then it means, now many times people ask how to find stock and hold them for 5 to 6 years. So you have to see something like this on a monthly time. And if now see the pattern is completed after 5 to 6 years, then you can see if you hold from 16 to next 5 years, 21, you can see there was significant upside in this. So what the point is that on first go to the higher chart and then look for some bullish patterns. And if you only learn only single pattern, then that is enough. And we will discuss some more points. Then these points are more than enough, and you will not require anything else. So what is the stop loss in a head and, I mean, a reverse head and shoulders pattern? It is the right shoulder. So at this point, the stop loss is this point, the below, I mean, low point of right shoulder. So up to now, is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So now let us learn one more point, how to draw trend lines. Now now people mostly draw the trend lines in the wrong way. Suppose this is one wave, and then you get a dip, and the moment it crosses the high of this point, that you can draw, I mean, connect these 2 points. uh, so it means that this, suppose consider this as the one point, and the moment it crosses this point, then you can draw this trend line. You can see, if you draw this trend line, it has never broken from 2016 from your entry, and now it got broke. So see how, and let me again say what I said. The first wave, fix that wave, I mean, whatever this up move, fix that up move. It goes down, it retraces, then again if it breaks this, then connect these 2 points. See, and it never, so if you are an investment, long-term investment, you never got out of trade, and at this time it broke. So I mean, it's a significant upside from 267 to 1232. So is this point also clear about trend lines?
Yes, yes, son.
Okay, so let us now see, now since at beginners level, we are learning that this is a bullish pattern, but there may be cases in which this pattern also fails. So if you are an absolute beginner, then you don't have to. Now many people say that technical analysis does not work, but if you see this chart, is technical analysis working or not? You get a bullish pattern at the bottom, it gets significant upside, the trend line also works. So is technical analysis working or it is not working?
It is working, no, because the trend line is being followed and religiously, stock never broke it.
So that is the, it is the truth, but many people don't know or yet deny, because they almost said that you cannot time the market also. See, you cannot now, I cannot find whether this is the bottom when it is making, right? Suppose I erase all this price action, I erase this price action. Now I don't know. Now people ask me, now suppose someone asks you at what time this will reverse, right? So you cannot answer this question, right, at this point. But now after significant price action, now if I clear this again, so what technical analysis say is that at this moment of time, this is bullish, and you can start investing with this stop loss. Suppose this fails also, then that doesn't mean that technical analysis has failed. It means now this is the stop loss. Technical analysis say take this stop loss, right? So what is the mistake? Mistake beginners do, they don't take the stop loss. And I will show you in this example also, when there was a false pattern, and if you didn't take the stop loss, then the loss was huge. So let me go to that point. So from monthly, let us change to a daily first, and I will show you a pattern which failed. Okay, so now let us talk about the reverse of head and shoulders, which is bearish. You get a left shoulder, you get a head, and you get a right shoulder. This is exactly the reverse of that what we have learned earlier. And if you see, this is also one similar pattern, right? You get a left shoulder, then a right, then you get a head, and then you got a. But in this case, if you see, the pattern didn't work, right? This pattern immediately, the stop loss, if you have kept at the right shoulder, the pattern didn't work. So as a beginner, there are ways in which you can tell that it will not go down. But if you are a complete beginner and you just know that just about this pattern, so you have to take the stop loss here if you are trading this. So if you don't take the stop loss, see, it goes above and above. Now people start to hope that they also know that this is a pattern and this is the stop loss, but still they don't take the stop loss and they keep on holding this trade. So the point to beginners is that if there is a pattern like this, there is a fixed stop loss and there is a fixed target also. So if you see this is the height of this head, then this much you can expect. But if the target does not hit and this hits, then you have to move out of this trade. Is this point clear till now, or there is any other question? Any question till now?
No.
So you mean to say we have to come out once the right has broken?
Right.
We have to respect the stop loss. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. So see, you also asked many times that you are stuck in stock like Godrej, right?
Yes.
So you had to see this pattern in that. If the pattern had come, then you have to respect the pattern. And now see, the daily chart has a noise in this, because now suppose I remove all the pattern. Suppose I remove this price action. Now see, this is a very valid, it looks like a very valid bearish pattern, like, but if I change this to monthly, Does it look bearish?
No, monthly it is respecting that trend line very well.
Yeah,
And the
so
pattern is not there.
it means the trend is up, right?
Yes.
And there is, I mean, the noise is also cleared. Now let me move to weekly also. See, on the weekly also, this does not look like a head and shoulders, right?
Mm.
So now you understand the difference what I'm trying to say. Now if you go to daily, this looks like a pattern, right? But immediately it got reversed. And if you go to weekly, it never gave a closing below this line also.
Mm.
So always first start with the higher time, how the chart looks on a higher time interval. If it is daily also, first you have to see how is the pattern looking same, because the first pattern, let me go to that monthly pattern, that so if you go to the all the time frame, then this pattern will look like same, because this is bullish. And then see, on a, if you're getting a pattern on a monthly, then there is a good chance it will go up. Always prefer the higher chart than the lower chart. So now we have studied that only one pattern, head and shoulders, both bullish and bearish, and only one concept, that is a trend line. See, now we will see how only this is used to make money. So let me clear again this. Now suppose if you're an experienced trader, right? Then I have already taken one other price series based on Elliott. So for us, we know those are experienced traders. We already know that this is one fast wave. After then there is a correction, and we expect another fast move up. But
Yes, impulse. Yeah.
right, but if we are a beginner, if you're a beginner, then you have to take these stop losses. There is, I mean, no looking back. I mean, if you have to respect the stop loss, and even if you take all these stop loss, if you are taking 10 trades, then definitely you will make more money, because the stop loss is less. And if you take one good trade like this, see, this is also a bullish pattern, same pattern. Let me draw this also. This is also the reverse head and shoulders pattern. The target is the height of this. This is almost 300 points. So 1100 to 1200 is the target, and that is done, right? So even if you are trading the same pattern, it means when you are getting 300 to 400 points. But if the stop loss hit, then it will be around 100 or 50 points. So even if you take 10 to 20 trades based on this, then always you will be, I mean, positive overall. Is this point clear?
Okay, risk reward is much better if you respect. Yeah.
So now people say technical analysis does not work, but the point is, first you have to follow the discipline also. Technical analysis just gives us this pattern. It just gives us this pattern. This is the pattern, and now it says you are expecting this much target, or if this stop loss is gone, then you have to exit. This is only the technical analysis what it says. But problem is that people don't follow this part. When it goes reverses, people don't get out. So this is the, but if you follow rigorously this single rule, if and this single pattern, I mean, it can be, I can take any other chart also, and we will take another chart also, then there will be not even a single thing that you are not making money. Is, I mean, is this clear, or there is any doubt?
So idea is you have to train eyes to recognize. That's the key, because if you are able to recognize, you can really
let
plan
me
that.
okay, now let us also discuss where these patterns will be made and where we have to search them. Now I told you this is the trend line, right? I also gave you the rule of trend line. This is first, I mean, first move up, and then once it crosses the high of this, then you can connect this, right? So if you connect this, how many after now after this point, how many times it worked? This worked here and here, so 2 times it worked, right? I just connected 2 points, and in future, let me show what I am talking about. So this trend line is available to us at this time. So whenever in future this comes to this, we are waiting for a pattern like this. Again, it coming there. We are again waiting for a pattern like this. Is this point clear or not? So let me show you, let me show it on a lower time interval what I am saying. Now at this time, let me erase it. So at this time, now we are waiting for a bullish pattern, right? Let me erase all this. Now this is a monthly chart. Let us see on a daily if we are getting a pattern or not. So are we seeing this pattern? Is the pattern complete or not? This pattern is not complete because it needs break of this. So are we getting, let me, so is the pattern complete now?
Yeah, it has broken the
Yes.
upper trend line.
Yeah.
Yes.
And where is the stop loss? This is the stop loss.
Okay, can we just say that it broke the resistance and now that becomes support? Your trend line has become a support now.
See, we are not talking about all those things, just one pattern.
Okay. Okay.
Left,
Okay.
left,
Fine. Yeah.
left,
Yeah.
head, and right. So what is
Hmm.
the stop loss for this pattern?
Okay.
This
Your
part,
right shoulder. Yes.
right. So
Yes.
where is the right shoulder?
Yes. That circle. Yes.
So this is the stop loss. What is the target? 355, 477. The target is 120 points, almost 600. Right? The target is 600. So the target is achieved or not? It is achieved, right?
Right. 650. Huh.
But let me also, now this is now this can fail, right? Now many times, suppose it went to 550 and it failed, right? So you are already, now suppose you entered at 480 and you are already making 70 points and then hitting the stop loss. So now we have to modify this, right? Now since we are already in profit, now we have also learned the trend line tool, right? I explained one concept. This is the wave. I mean, first fix that first. After retracement, if it again moves higher, then trend line shifts to this, right? So now we will wait for a trend line. We can draw this trend line because this, if we fix this thing, if we fix this thing, then it has crossed this, right or no?
Yes.
So we can update the stop loss to this.
Okay. We are trading. Huh.
So what is the stop loss now?
Around 4. Yeah.
480.
Yeah.
Okay, and this was our entry also. It means now we will not even risk anything in this. Everything is free to us, right? Initially we had a risk of this much. Now the risk is also because our entry is also this. And
Okay.
Yes.
and again, now let us modify it again. Now see, if you fix this, so again we got a new trend line, and our stop loss is again above our price, right? Our entry was this. Now this is, it means now 100% we are making profit in this. See, we never know how long it can go, right? It can even now target is 600. It went to 1100, 1200 also. So we are never, now suppose on a weekly chart, we do this similar exercise on a weekly chart.
Sunny, but I mean, previously when you said like regarding the stop loss for the head and shoulder pattern, so we found the entry point and we also had the stop loss. So how can we exactly fix the target, like from like 600? How much can we expect?
See, what I will first tell what the theory says. Okay, this is the pattern.
Okay.
The target is the head. So you have to count what is the head height. Understood or
Okay.
not? So so suppose at the monthly there was a pattern at the bottom. So you have to find this height. So this height on a monthly chart, if it is 200 points, we are expecting above this 200 points. What I am trying to say is that we are modifying this for our benefit, because suppose it goes in our favor for 150 points. The target was 200 points. But from 150, it reversed and hit our stop loss. It means even if we are in profit, but we are not able to capture these points. So for that, I am trying, whenever it forms a low and again goes to high, so your stop loss also gets modified. Because the definition of uptrend, what is the definition of uptrend? Higher high and higher lows, right?
Yes.
So the stop loss also should modify we should also modify our stop loss. If it goes above this, then this, from this point, that if that was the head and shoulders pattern, if this is a head and shoulders at the bottom, so initially the stop loss is this, but once it makes a high and goes above this, the stop loss modified. Why are we doing this? So because suppose the target of this pattern is 200 points and it went to 150 points, but the moment it reversed, we should capture this instead of hitting our stop loss. Because if it is reversing, then also it will form again a bullish pattern and we can again enter. So you don't have to second guess that whether it will go up or down. If the pattern is there, bullish pattern, then you can take a re-entry and again stop loss. So is this clear?
Yeah,
or
got it.
okay?
Yes.
Okay, so let us now see on a bearish side, same chart. I am giving, see, many times if people are discussing the patterns, they only say it is working 100 times, but that is not the case. Even head and shoulders fail. So I am also showing you the failures of this pattern, so that you don't always hope that this pattern means 100% this will work. Now see this. What was the stop loss? This was the stop loss, right? Hit. So if you're a beginner, you don't know anything, you have to take this stop loss. Otherwise, if you don't take this, if you're on the buy side, if you don't take this stop loss, then see what happens. This happened. Now let me. I have covered Elliott also, right? So if you are Elliott based, also learn Elliott, then you can see this is the impulse, this is the correction, and you are expecting another impulse down. So you will not take this, you will not trade this bullish pattern here, because you are expecting market to move down. Now let me give another example at the bottom. Let me move to 4 hours. See, divergences also play a major role in this. always there will be always look for divergences. Now for the pattern, always look for divergences at this point. If this is the MACD, the MACD will be more here, and it will show divergence between this point and this point, because it means now we are expecting upside. Let me show you this. Now see, there was a failure in this case, right? But see, there is no divergence between. Let me show you on a smaller time frame. So what I'm trying to say, between the head and left part, so if this is a bearish pattern, then there will be always a divergence between this part and this part. You can check RSI, you can check MACD. There will be always a divergence. Like suppose this is the MACD and this is the MACD. So there will be divergence between this and this. This is a perfect head and shoulders when there is a divergence. And you can spot it in front that this looks like a divergence, and now we are expecting down move. Any questions till now? See, if you are if you have to, I mean, many people voted as beginners, and if you have to change that, you have to ask questions, and you have to, I mean, if you are not asking questions, then there is no so is this clear, or there are questions?
No, sir, it was clear.
Okay, so you are stuck in any stock, right? Anyone give that stock name, and we will see how same patterns work in that. Anyone stuck in any stock?
Hi, Sunny. Sunny, thanks for the concepts. Couple of points. You spoke about two time frames. So the basis of investment changes, right? From a long-term investment to a short-term or a swing trend.
No.
For example, the Muthoot Finance example that you are showing, the first bullish pattern that came down was in 2011, 2016, and
Right.
it went up to 2022. That's a long-term investment play.
Right.
Now, the point that you were showing at 1100 range or 500 range, actually,
Okay.
that's kind of a medium range where the entire action happens over a 6 months time frame or 8 months time frame. Correct?
See, what I am trying to say is that you have let me again draw that. You understood the concept of trend line?
Yeah, trend line, head and shoulder, both are clear.
Okay. So now what I am saying that, now suppose you are not, you see this stock and you have not making any entry in this stock, and you are looking for an entry. Okay, and you draw all these things and you see this is in this stage, and you have not any investment in this stock. So how will you make an investment in this stock?
Okay.
So,
and this is from a long-term perspective.
Long-term perspective. Now you know the long-term perspective, the trend line is this, right? Mm-hmm. So you are saying that whenever the stock touches this trend line, you will look for an investment.
Yeah.
But that is if it turns bullish. Now it can happen like it can cross the trend line also, right? So you have to make sure that this starts to turn bullish from this point.
Absolutely.
Right. So you have to go to, suppose this is monthly, you will go to a daily time frame and you will see that whether are you seeing any bullish pattern from this or not. If you are seeing, then you can start invest here, and it is for long term only, because if now for long term you have a bullish perspective of this, but on a smaller time interval the trend has changed. Let me see, long term, even in at this point the long term trend is not down, right? But the daily trend,
exactly, the time frame between 2013 to 2014, the long term time frame is bullish, but in this period it went it became bearish and then it recovered to the same lane trade.
Right. So if you're a long-term player, you should not be worried about these moves as long as the concept of higher high, higher low is maintained. So it is up to you whether you check the higher high on this time frame, or you go to, if you are more, you want to secure your profit, you have to go to a lower time frame like weekly or daily, because the lower, suppose this becomes the stop loss, and the stock is at 484 on a weekly time frame, 263 becomes a stop loss. So if are you willing to take this 200 rupees? It is up to you whether you are going, you want to more secure it.
Understood. Coming back to the current levels of this Muthoot Finance, it just broke the trend line that you had drawn, right?
Right. Okay, what is the question?
I really don't have a question. I just want to look at the current scenario of breaking and what is the conversions of here. What daily and what short time frame lookups are coming up.
Okay. So if you draw now, suppose it is neither investment. Now, if you want to make a new investment, it's all in the same concept which we have learned today. Now, if you want this to go up, what is the pattern it will make? Right? This pattern it will make. So go to the weekly time frame. Do you see this pattern? There is no sign of this pattern, right? If it makes this pattern at this time, you will enter. This is a stop loss. You don't have to, I mean, you have to wait a lot for this pattern to get formed here.
Absolutely. But this is below the trend line. So would it be a right approach to enter?
Because
you're
now see, this trend line is not actually here. The trend line, once it breaks, the trend line also gets modified. See, let me clear this. Now, what is the concept we learned? So the right trend line now was actually this one, because this point is valid. It dips, it again makes high, right? So from this point only you were out of this investment. Now okay. see, if I touch this and I go to the weekly chart,
it is maintaining the graph.
No, what I'm trying to say is this can be a head and shoulders also now.
Okay.
Now suppose it breaks.
Okay. I got you. What do you think?
So you have to, just a single pattern is enough for you, and you can see any chart, 100% this pattern will be there.
Sure. Good. Thank you. I got the point. I got the answer to the question.
But see, you cannot wait. Now suppose you are on you are trading hourly chart on this, right? But you cannot wait this long, and then if suppose you are an investment, then this is not the stock for you. But suppose you are a day trader or swing trader, then you are missing this point, right? So go to the hourly in this case and look if you are getting a bullish pattern at the bottom or not. So it will always, there will be one bullish pattern. See, in this case also there is a bullish pattern here. Now on an hourly also you are getting pattern, right? This is the same pattern. So you are entered here and you are maintaining this trend line. So if this trend line breaks, then again you are out, right?
Yes.
So see how simple concept is this, and this can be done on a hourly, 5 minutes, 1 hour daily. But I don't recommend this for lowered, because this session was meant for beginners. So you should only apply this to long-term investment.
Okay.
So even if you see
the way of looking at the question was, setting apart the long-term investment to short-term investments.
Pardon, come again.
Is it the way of looking at, or the question was more on the approaches of long-term to short-term investment plans? For example, the one trend line that you draw on a monthly basis, which gives Muthoot Finance still just breaking the trend line and falling below the trend line to move out of your investment. Or that might not be a fresh point to enter. But at a short term, that does not work. In a short term, there are a lot of more opportunities that would pop off intermediately to look at it.
See, yeah, if that's what the question is, if you are want to investment or if you want short term also, then there are better opportunities also.
Correct. That is what that is why I conveyed. If that was not clear.
Like I mean, in the sessions also, I discussed about Mahindra. It was at around, it was just making a all-time high. I think Kalpesh remembers it. He was there. See, this is a multi-year breakout, and I said that this will go very high from this. It was just breaking out, and from 1000 it has almost touched 200, 300 very quickly. But but this, so now suppose someone is in this investment, it doesn't mean that he can. So he has to protect his capital, right? So suppose on a daily time frame, it breaks this point, so he has to move out. Why he should wait for, I mean, for this to fall this much?
Understood. Sorry, I'm sorry I took much time. You have a couple of more minutes.
Yeah, I have a couple of minutes. Any quick questions? Any in this case?
So Sunny, the way you picked up M&M, so how, I mean, what is the next M&M, or what type of, I'm trying to see, is there a screener or is there a best way to pick up a stock which is turning bullish?
The best screener is you yourself. You have to, I mean, there are 6 to 7 sectors, right? If NMN is giving the breakout, the auto sector is also giving. So you have to track only few sectors only. You don't have to, you don't have to track the, you don't have to track all, I mean, all stocks. Just select the sector first. If the sector is giving the breakout, then go for the, then between this sector, select the stock. If a sector
so
is
yeah, top down. Okay,
yeah,
top down.
Now now you can easily scan 6 to 7 sectors. Then from those 6 to 7 sectors, you can easily scan 6 to 7 stocks. So it from how if scan, now you don't have to scan 4,000 stocks, right? You can stack, I mean, 10 to 20 stocks, then you have to scan, and you can regularly monitor all these trend lines. You have to apply whether it is coming to a monthly time. All these, if you're tracking only 3 to 4 stocks, then only you are doing justice to it, because you cannot track 40, 50 stocks.
Correct. So basically, sector will also exhibit this kind of patterns and trend lines, right?
Right.
The chart patterns.
Right. So if sector is not showing and one stock is doing other than the sector, then we should avoid that stock, because if the whole sector is not performing, then we should not, I mean, take that sector. Understood? If the sector is not going up and stock is only going up, then you should avoid that stock.
Okay.
I think we have to stop at this moment, because this will disconnect.
Okay, Sunny, thanks. This was wonderful.
Okay, thank you. You can, I mean, leave comments on the video and let me see what I can do to improve.
Sunny, is there a DM for you available?
Yeah, I will share it in the group.
A DM.
Will you be able to
directly message?
recording